Welcome to my very first, maybe kind of, graphic design audit with real world examples. And I want to thank Angela Hall for volunteering to have her graphics audited by me. And she let me choose whatever I wanted, so she doesn't even know what's about to happen. If you hear sounds, it's because my cat is meowing because she's hungry all the time. All right. So here's the first graphic that I chose to audit. What I noticed in this one is there's this big black bar in the middle here that kind of stands out. Like if you squint your eyes, that's what you see the most, and it's not the most important. Um, and also, all of this text is like kind of hard to read because it's all the same and like scripty. So here's what I did to update this graphic. What I did was I made the photo bigger and fill the whole space so that there isn't really just this kind of white space around the photo. White space is really important, but I felt like in this, it just was kind of unnecessary. So that was just what I decided to do. But I'll tell you more about some of the other changes I made. So the new blog post, I made a color bar background and a lighter text in front for the text. And so, this text, new blog post is not the most important thing, but it's the sort of thing that every time she has a new blog post, you can do this graphic the same way with the color on the top that says new blog post. And people will start to be trained and notice when they see the graphic like this from Angela that it means that there's a new blog post. So it kind of gives it a subdued way to announce that it's a new blog post, but allows her also to keep it consistent every time she does this. What I also did was I split up this text into two different fonts. How interior design can help you create the life you want most. I also added the word interior design because that is what she is talking about, I'm assuming, because she's an interior designer. And then I made the script font just be this kind of the part of the text that's kind of inspiring, the life you want most, and made that bigger and made it a different color. And then I also changed the color of interior design. So now we have some variation throughout the headline that kind of brings your eye through. So personally, reading the headline on the left here, I have to kind of look close at like each word, how design can help you create the life you want most. And over here, I can kind of scan it more and see, okay, how interior design can help you create the life you want most. I know I just read it twice and it kind of sounds the same, but I hope that you're kind of seeing here how having some differentiation in the headline helps you to scan the headline and lets what's most important pop out by, highlighting interior design and also highlighting the life you want most helps this to be easy to scan, and having it all in one typeface is kind of hard to read sometimes, especially if it's a display type such as a script or handwritten or something like that. That's not just a normal plain font that's easy to read. All right, let's go. I'm trying to make this quick video. Anyways, so here is the second graphic that I decided to audit. This or that graphic that she does sometimes, comparing two different looks or whatever she's talking about. Here is how I did this differently. One, I added her logo on the top because she didn't have her logo in this, and she ought to. Two, I would take out these letters A and B and I would put it on the side a little bit more subtle and not blocking anything like that. Also, putting any sort of text on top of a photo makes it kind of hard to read, kind of chaotic, and like all of this, like you can see all the stuff behind it and stuff. And it makes it hard to read. It makes it look a little bit cluttered. So I would do like a block of color with the letter on top. And then I also made the words this or that bolder and bigger because that's really the most important text in this graphic. She wants you to be thinking this or that. And then I made the Pantone's Color of the Year edition smaller and on the bottom and on top of a block of color here. So when she does different this or that's of different themes, so she can always just use this bottom and tell us, what angle it is right now, whether it's Pantone's, I spelt it wrong too, my bad, color of the year, or whether it's some other theme that she's going with, she can just always put that in. And it's not really the most important part here. She wants people to be seeing the photo and thinking which one they prefer. I also changed the font for edition so that you can kind of see that like Pantone's Color of the Year is one phrase, and then edition is written out so that you can kind of see that like we're talking about what edition of this or that we're doing. I hope that makes sense. Let me know. And then the last one I want to audit today is this graphic that was kind of like less about interior design, more just kind of for fun. Friday to-do list, wake up, drink coffee, slay goals. Clearly trying to inspire some other mothers and maybe business owners. So here are the changes I would make to that. First of all, I made the photo, the to-do list, take up at least half of the graphic so that you can see it a little bit better. I was going to do it just split in the middle, but it wasn't quite going to fit right, and you wouldn't be able to see the whole notebook. So I made it a little bit bigger so you could see the whole thing. And because we're also listing the to-do list over here, I maybe would choose something a little bit different, maybe a notebook or like someone writing that isn't explicitly like the same thing that we're talking about, something that's a little bit more implied instead of explicit, if that makes sense. And then the other thing I did is that I put the headline, the title here, Friday to-do list, on top because our eye naturally goes left to right, top to bottom. So I put that on top, and I put that in her script font because it's only a couple of words. And what I recommend is if you have some kind of fancy display font that you're using all the time, that you use that for your headlines for just a few words, and the body text, the like meat of everything you're posting, put that in your plain serif or sans serif font so it's really easy to read. So then I put, the list in her regular font, Glacial Indifference, and I add some little check marks so that you can kind of see that it's a list, and I added her logo on the bottom. All right, so that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions about that, or if you would like to be the next account that I audit for graphic design. Let me know.